Okay, what is mom brain? Well, I'm going to explain it to you in under 5 minutes. See, when a woman becomes a mom, her brain actually anatomically and cognitively changes. There's a 4% loss in gray matter and there's an increase in white matter. So when you say that your kids are making you lose your mind, you're not wrong, right? So why does the mom brain change? Well, think about it. Your brain's first priority before you became a mom, it was you. Now, your brain's first priority is no longer you, it's your child or children, in my case, 7 of them, right? So here's the good news. See, your brain is designed so beautifully to do its job. In becoming a mom, you've immediately developed a whole new set of cognitive abilities in your brain, and you're not even consciously aware of them. They're there to make sure that your children stay alive. Now, your brain, it has a filter called the reticular activating system. All this is a filter that's preventing everything from bombarding your brain. Now, before you became a mom, it was filtering out all the sights and the sounds and the subtle little nuances in your environment that really didn't have anything to do with you. Okay, you didn't need it, so your brain didn't receive it. It filtered it all out. But something happens when you become a mom. Now, all of a sudden, there's danger everywhere. You've got to preserve and protect your child. The first priority of your brain, remember, now it has become taking care of your children. So that filtering system, it gets way more open. So you can pick up on all the little things, the little subtle nuances that you would miss when you're not a mom. We sometimes call this mother's intuition. It's why you sense that, I don't know, something's wrong with your child when they come home from school. Like your husband doesn't notice it, but you're like, no, I think there's something wrong, right? No one else picks up on this except you. It's also why you grab your toddler's arm right before they run out the parking lot in front of a car, because you sensed it. Somehow your brain allowed that to come through the system. It's also why you know when the house is a little too quiet. You know what I mean, right? It's like something's going on and it may not be good. Now, the bad news. Good news, mother's intuition. Bad news, with that filtering system open, your brain can no longer function like it used to. That's why moms are like, I wish things would just get back to normal. Well, it never will. Okay, get used to the new normal. It's like my phone, right? When it's not working well, things aren't loading up, it's kind of slow, kind of glitchy. Well, 9 times out of 10, I just have too many apps open. One of my kids will grab my phone and they're like, Mom, how many apps do you have open, right? So mom brain is like a normal brain with all the apps open. So with this new cognitive functioning, some old cognitive functioning, well, it has to go. Things like, I don't know, being able to finish tasks without getting distracted, right? Have you ever started things and you just can't seem to finish it? Maybe like remembering why you walked in a room in the first place. Like, I walked in here, why? What was I going to get? It's why you find yourself standing in front of an open refrigerator with your toddler shoe in one hand and a curling iron in the other. It's like, what is happening to my brain? Yeah, it's why you feel like you can't focus. You can't pay attention. Your thoughts are all scattered. It's why you're also always imagining the worst case scenario for your children. You know what I'm talking about. You can imagine the most gruesome details over things happening to your kids. Well, your brain is actually preparing you for any and all situations that would ensure their survival. Yeah, it's painful, but it's the mom brain. It's also why one of the most difficult things for you to do is take care of yourself. The mom brain, by design, is self-sacrificial. You know that example that people always use for self-care, like if a mask drops down in the airplane, make sure you put it on yourself before you put on your child, right? You know what I'm talking about. They do that all the time, like you need to take care of yourself. For a mom brain, that is absolutely the most counterintuitive thing. It's a great concept, horrible execution for the mom brain. The mom brain would never do that in an emergency state. So how do I know? Well, what do you do when you're driving down the road and your child is buckled up in the passenger seat? They're old enough to be in the front. And you have to come to a sudden stop. What do? Yep, you swing your arm out. You brace them, right? That arm brake, that one little signal there shows you what the mom brain is doing. That very action reveals the cognitive functioning of the mom brain. I will go through the windshield, but you must survive me, right? So the mom brain, yes, it's got some really good things about it. We have mother's intuition, but also some bad things. We feel like we're losing our mind. We can't focus. We can't even finish sentences, all right? So that's an overview of the mom brain in about 5 minutes. But now, what do you do when you understand the mom brain, but you still feel stuck? I can't finish what I start. I get distracted. I feel so overstimulated. Well, you can either stay in that overstimulation, that distraction, that anxiety, or you can learn to work with the wiring of your mom brain instead of against it. Now, in the next couple minutes, I'm going to show you just one thing you can do. I believe it's actually the most effective thing you can do to get out of that stress, become more productive, have more energy, and get less stress. Just be happier. Calm the mom brain down. Now, what is this one thing I'm talking about? I'm talking about routines. See, because of the overstimulation of the mom brain and the constant decision making that a mom has to do, like she literally suffers decision fatigue by like 3 or 4 p.m. The brain uses up more glucose than any other organ in the body. Now for a mom brain, let's just like double or triple that, right? Because we are making decisions all day long, and they're not always normal decisions or predictable decisions. We're constantly making decisions because our lives are so organic, right? They don't have structure to them. They're really unstructured when you think about it. So what if we could just make one less decision? So one thing I suggest, like I said, is a routine. Just one routine that you can start today. Now for me, when I started learning how to work with my mom brain, I started working on one simple thing, which is laying out my clothes the night before. It may sound ridiculous, a little too simple, but it works. Now inside Mom Mastery University, we actually have 6 different tracks, kind of like majors for moms, right? And each one carries 6 master habits. Now, what is a habit? Well, a habit is just a routine that you do over and over and over. But think about it. What if you just started with one routine? It may not feel like a lot. You feel like, no, I need to do more. No, you don't. You actually need to do less with the mom brain, but you have to do it consistently. So one routine is one less decision that you have to make. Like I said, the one thing that I started with, laying out my clothes the night before, it seems so small, so insignificant, but that's the miracle of it all. It doesn't have to be big in order to create a big change. Lay out my clothes the night before, one less decision. Then start planning your meals, one less decision. Then you start chunking your days. I have whole videos on time management for the mom brain, one less decision. So this one step can be a powerful way to work your mom brain instead of it working you. You can get out of that stress, you can get out of that anxiety, but you have to learn what's going on with your brain so you can work with it and be more compassionate with yourself. You're doing a great job. But remember, a happier mom creates happier families, and happier families create a happier world. So do the world a favor and, be happier. I'm Hannah Keeley. I'm America's #1 mom coach, and I love helping moms. So let me know in the comments how this helped you and how I can help you move further. Thanks a lot.